Hello everyone, and welcome to, I think, the last episode of Rite of the Ashes. So, Emma was the murderer. I did not expect that part. I really thought it was gonna be the police chief demon. But, let's find out the rest, shall we? Oh yeah, because, Chief threw Edgeworth under the bus. Right. Sorry, Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get you in trouble. Don't worry about it. This is my problem, not yours. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, you guess I am. I will come back later. Hey, Detective Gumshoe. What is it? You got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around on duty. And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at a funeral. Who called you this time? It was not Phoenix, was it? I take it Lana's having you run errands again. Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. Here, she asked me to give you this to you if there was a break in today's trial. Evidence law? Edgeworth was talking about this just the other day. You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Could you at least study some evidence law, really? You at least study some... Yeah, no, fair. Chief Prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message. Message? She said, if you're planning to take him on, you're going to need this book. Him. I guess I will need to give this book a thorough read. Evidence laws look clearly slipped into your pocket. Does it look like that book will do you any good now, though? No, it will. Thank you. Rule of submitting evidence. Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without approval of the police department. Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. All that's left now is the chief prosecutor's sentence. I really thought it was gonna give me an answer. Or, like, more than just the 2 rules. But I guess I was just wrong. That's where you're wrong, detective. Huh? Haven't you figured it out yet? I'm still sitting in the prosecutor's seat, despite all these allegations being thrown at me. Mr. Hedgeworth. The real trial today hasn't begun yet. What? What else is there left to do? Her credibility has all been but ruined with this forged evidence you were unaware of. Emma Skye found out she unwittingly caused the man's death. And now, you're telling me you want to do more? You've got to be kidding me, pal. You're missing the point, detective. Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman. She merely stuck a knife into his dead body. That means the real killer is still out there. What? And we're going to expose him, no matter what it takes. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end. I want to free all these people. Poor Edgeworth is being dragged through it. First his entire thing with his dad. Now this? Poor dude. Also poor Emma. Poor Lana. Being blackmailed, probably to protect her sister. Though, I would say Emma is innocent because she thought she was helping. I thought it was, what's it called? Self-defense? Anyway. Court will now converse for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. The inquiry committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions. Thank you for the news, Your Honor. Yes, well, normally this is where the prosecution calls forth a witness, but, this isn't easy to say. You see, there is some concern that you, Mr. Edgeworth, may have, struck a bargain. You think I may have manipulated the witness. I didn't say that. It's just, you see, everyone has been talking and... Very well, Your Honor. I have a solution. A solution? That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses. What? But there's no precedent for what you're proposing. Undeniably, This is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It proves that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? Unbelievable. Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. Very well. The defense accepted the prosecution's proposal. And it's settled. Then defense may now call forth the next witness, Mr. Wright. You do realize this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, this trial's as good as over. The defense calls... I've finally come to bring out the real murderer. Oh, I almost oh wait, enter doesn't do anything here. Mr. Goodman, come present, please. Okay. Let me think this through. Because I want to go for Grant. Because no, you're dead. Why would I call upon you? Gumshoe is useless, let's be honest. You told us you weren't a murderer. You were a murderer of a different case. No. You're just kind of weird. So that only leaves Demon Grant. Demon Grant. The defense calls Demon Grant to the stand. Demon Grant? What does he have to do with anything? As a defense partners with 2 years ago, Mr. Grant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it. As luck would have it, he would still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor? True. Alright, bailiff, please escort Mr. Grant to the stand. Hi, great to see you're still alive. Witness, please state your name and occupation. I thought I was gonna do... Is it because we got to choose or not? I feel like it. Okay, let's just speed through this, shall we? What is this? Some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch. Your name and occupation, sir. Worthy, are you sure you want to do this? Your name and occupation. So, you want to play hardball, huh? But please, Mr. Grant. Fine. My name is Demon Grant. I'm the acting chief of police. Now then, Chief Grant, the court requests to hear your testimony. Oh, righto. What's with the grim face? First, let's clear up this SL9 incident. Oh, you mean that time when Lana's sister murdered that prosecutor? Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already. There are still some things unaccounted for. Oh, like what? Like the role you played in all of this. Oh. Music, please come back. Son, either you're very brave or very foolish. You are aware, of course, that a police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Sure. Take my testimony, for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to. What? Is that true? I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify. Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks. Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you. Very well, the witness may now begin his testimony. Okay, please let me poke hole through the stories right away. As I recall, Noah and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently, she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. Is that when Dark was arrested? Him? He was lying on the floor unconscious. Okay. When Emma sent now flying, it seems Dark bumped his head. I see. Everything seems pretty clear-cut. If the police chief has the right to refuse to testify, then I better hit him hard and fast. What's that wording? Let's... okay. So... yeah, sure. Make a long story short, yeah. And I went to my office, I found Lana there, sure. Apparently she was already arranged the crime scene. Are you sure it had nothing to do with the forgery? So you were saying that the forgery had already taken place by the time you arrived at the office? That's exactly what I'm saying. I can understand how Lana must have felt, but moving a body and hiding evidence are inexcusable no matter what the circumstances. Is that how it really went down? Staring at the witness won't do you any good, Mr. Wright. If you're going to stare at anything, you better off staring at the court records. Worthy, always the smooth talker. But which piece of evidence ties Grant to the forgery? Lana did admit to forging evidence, but that can't be the whole truth. He was hiding it. Somehow I think I got to link Grant to the incident. Hold up, bring us back to that one. Thank you for giving me the hint, game, that I should look here. What about this? If you really had nothing to do with the forgery, then how did you explain this? What's that? And what's that on it? A handprint? Chief Grant, your explanation, please. I don't know. You tell me, son. Huh? Your dear Wrighto. My dear Wrighto. Don't you know the second rule of evidence law? Uh-oh, not this again. Evidence law. Rule 2, unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Tell me, how is that rag relevant to this trial? I want to smash your head into the desk. It appears the defense was not prepared. I guess it's too early to use this piece of evidence. Please accept my profound apologies, Chief. Would you mind giving the defense another chance? Well, okay, I will do just this once, but only because of you asked, Uchi. Thank you. I assure you the defense is terribly sorry. Ha ha. Yeah, sorry I did not nail you. Phoenix! Your wording! Okay. Evidence list. Sure, let's go with that one then. You claim you had nothing to do with the forgery. But I'm afraid that's a claim you cannot back up. Explain yourself. Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this list, for example. That's the list Emma Sky drew their picture on. This was discovered in your desk. Not only that, but a piece of the jar that was sitting in your office was found inside your safe. It was found where? You see, Chief Grant, these articles of evidence uncovered in your office were both concrete proof that you also played a part in the illegal investigation. Chief Grant, what's the meaning of this? Oh. Here's a defense attorney who may even rival Worthy. So you admit to it then? That you were involved in the forgery? Who, me? Or do you mean you? Me? What do I have anything to do with that? Well, you were the one who snuck into my office when you found this evidence. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know? Defense attorney can also do so. Isn't that right, Righto? However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation. Worthy, my boy. Not even detectives are exempt from the law. Rest assured, he will receive his due punishment. What? If Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, he will end up paying to work. That's also kind of funny. Poor Gumshoe. Yes, well, in light of the detective presence, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office, and their relation to the forgery that took place at the crime scene. My. Kids these days no longer know how to put 2 and 2 together. Okay. Evidence of forgery. Let's see, what was it now? A jar fragment and a list. For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. if they were found after Drake was convicted, then they're worthless. There's no reason I participate in a forgery. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. When investigating the crime scene, you should have been more careful to observe protocol. You do understand that I'm the chief of police, right? There will be consequences. Oh. Indeed, I believe I will press charges, so you won't make the same mistake again. My apologies, Chief, but would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? Today is, well, you know. Alright, Uchi, in return though. I know. That place, right? Huh? What are these guys? Telepathic? I want to know what kind of relationship the two of them have. That sounded weird, without context. And I don't know if the context will make it any better. Okay. Okay, let's try this. Yeah. There's no reason to participate in forgery, range, and crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. It would, though. Because now you can hold it over Lana's head, and she's like your little puppet, and you go boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop. Or am I wrong? Really, Chief Grant. At the very least, there is one very large benefit you've reaped from all of this. Oh, I wasn't aware. What is this benefit? That would, of course, be the position you have. Chief of Police. Oh. The resolution of the SL9 incident secured your promotion to Chief. That in itself is sufficient motive. Ho ho ho. Oh, that's a good one. Huh? Do you really think I'm that incompetent? What do you mean? Even without that case, I was already in line to become next Chief. The resolution of SL9 merely sped up the inevitable a little. Is that true, Edgeworth? Yes. He was going to be made Chief anyway. Gah! Be careful when pointing that finger, or you might wind up being the one pointed at. So that means there's only one possible motivation for you to commit forgery. If you didn't do it for yourself, then you did it for someone else. Oh, don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There are only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I. There isn't a... There. It's out in the open now. Uchi, would you mind if I change my testimony a little? By all means, please do. It wouldn't be anyone's accomplice if there was nothing in it for me. Oh. Press again. Nothing in it for you? Sorry, but the only person I care about is yours truly. That girl, Lana's little sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for her, you better think again. You're right. You don't feel sorry for anyone. Be tough on crime and tough on people. That's how I was raised. You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though. Ho ho ho! Oh, that's a good one, Worthy. Could there have been something in it for him? Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone out? Point out, accomplish. That's legit what sent with Mrs. Star told us. True, you might not have helped out anybody for their sake, but if it would benefit you, you might decide to assist someone. Mr. Wright, it appears you're positively determined to portray the Chief as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand. That's not what I mean. Very well then. Who is this person you believe Chief Grant may have helped forge evidence? Himself? No. Now we go to her. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky? The defendant? I believe it's quite obvious in light of the circumstances. Emma Sky fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. Who would have wanted to help her more than her own sister? Would, probably. And for Chief Grant, he would also have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. The reason, of course, is self-profit. Self-profit? What do you mean? after the SL9 incident was resolved. Lana Skye was appointed chief prosecutor at the prosecutor's office. The person who arranged this job change was you, Chief Grant. But how would he profit from all of this? He would be able to use the chief prosecutor as his puppet. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations. Do you mean to tell me that despite the chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets? That's what you're focusing... Please don't think about real puppets. Please. Please. Oh, wait. You must mean puppet, as in someone forced to do his bidding. Never mind. Thank you. Admitted, Chief. You assisted Lana Skye in forging evidence. Your motive to appoint her as chief prosecutor, so he could control her. Okay, but how do we want to force his hand to tell her the thing? Righto, my boy. You have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something. What? Do you have any proof of this? That I controlled Lana? For example, if Lana testified... testifying... Is Lana testifying that I've done such a thing? Lana? She's keeping quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she'd testify against Grant. I'm afraid without any proof, this all amounts to nothing more than mere conjecture. Unless, it is also what happened in this incident. This incident? Which one would that be? Of course I'm talking about the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. The chief prosecutor has been acting strange throughout this entire trial. Almost as if someone has been controlling her. Worthy, you better watch your tongue. I wouldn't want you to get hurt. What do you mean? What he means, Your Honor, is that Chief Grant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, but the Chief is now making Lana take the rap to cover up his involvement. What? Order! I said order! Mr. Wright, you can't be serious, huh? This is an affront to the highest ranking officer in our law enforcement agency. To accuse the chief of police of blackmail and murder. That's... impossible! Your Honor, I was merely reiterating what Mr. Edgeworth said in easier to understand language. It's too late, Mr. Wright. There's no turning back for us now. It looks like he's one who's decided to go through with this. I like them teaming up. Can you prove this, Mr. Wright? That the chief, a high-ranking officer of law, is involved in this murder? Good question. Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Grant is just a man. The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell. I see. Alright then. Let's see what Mr. Wright got. It better be good. Shows this evidence that ties the Chief Grant to the murder of Detective Goodman. And we got so much of it. But to tie him to the thing would be 7777777. That's a lot of sevens and I'm done with it. This is the ID card list. Yes, the one that shows who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There was one ID on the list we couldn't determine, the owner of yesterday. 7777777. I think that's enough sevens. Sorry, but there's no way you can prove that my card number. It's your number. What? How do you know that? The safe in Chief Grant's office required the code to open. A 7-digit code. 7 digits? You don't mean... I'm afraid so, Your Honor. The code was 7777777. Same as the remaining ID and card number on that list. Chief Grant, you entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. Oh, he's angry. Order, order. Chief Grant, what do you have to say? Nothing. The defense search of my office was in violation of regulations. And I will demand Mr. Wright to be punished to the maximum extent of the law. But right now, this court demands an explanation from you about the use of this ID card. Chief Grant, so you admit it. You entered the evidence room. On the day of the crime? What about it? I'm chief of police. Whether it's the evidence room or the bathroom, what's the difference? I can go wherever I want. Tell me, when you entered the room, were you alone? I always go to the bathroom alone, as I do with the evidence room. Detective Goodman wouldn't have happened to be with you that day, would he? Oh, of course not. Why would he be? I hadn't seen him in days. You hadn't seen him in days, Chief Grant? I'm afraid you've just undone yourself. On that day, you had to have met with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? As trial purposes determined Lana Sky's guilt. No, it isn't, Your Honor. This trial purposes determined the truth. If Chief Grant met the victim on the day of the crime, then we need to determine one thing. What transpired during that meeting. In that case, Mr. Wright, I'm going to have to ask you for evidence. Shows proof that the victim went to meet Chief Grant on the day of the crime. Oh no. I don't know. I don't know. What evidence do I have? Well, can only be submitted to the Chief of Police. Oh ho ho ho! Detective Goodman lost his ID card on the day of the crime. Or to be more accurate, Jake Marshall stole it. So Detective Goodman filled a lost item report. He would have to give that report to the Chief of Police. Yet you are in possession of the report. Which means you can't be sure he filled it in. He filed it. How do I know, you ask? Because he needed to enter the evidence room that day. He needed to? Yes, to transfer the evidence out. Oh! Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Grant. Then, you accompanied the detective to the evidence room. I accompanied him? There's no other way to murder the Detective Goodman could have entered the room. Hold on, let me guess what you're going to say next. I, the Chief of Police, murdered poor Goodman. Exactly. But wait. Chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. He could have just lent him his ID card. Yes. Now that you mentioned it, I believe I might have done something of the sorts. Sorry, but that's not possible. According to the records, your card was only used once. Yet you showed us your ID card earlier. If you had really lent it to Detective Goodman, it would have been found on his body. No! Whoa, what for an anime move is he pulling? Chief Grant, you didn't... The murderer was most likely a spur-of-the-moment crime for no one in their right mind. Who chose the police department as the place to commit murder? After the murder, you contacted Lana at the prosecutor's office. Why? To dispose of Detective Goodman's body, of course. You're forgetting, Mr. Wright, that the victim's body was discovered in the prosecutor's office parking lot. How did he manage to move it there? I was at the police department the entire day, you know? And everyone's aware that Lana stayed at the prosecutor's office after the ceremony. Oh, Edgeworth. You got called to... Oh, Edgeworth, you moved the body. Edgeworth! Do you not check your trunk? Oh, I guess not. Maybe clean it up good enough. Dude, check your trunk! Everyone except me, it seems. Still, you're the Chief of Police. You have an entire police force at your disposal. Oh, so you think I just ordered an officer to do it? Hey you, take this dead body over to the prosecutor's office. I don't think so. Chief Grant, you left all the evidence we need to prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. And all this time, I thought it was just a useless clue just to taking up space. How could the chief have moved the body? Mr. Wright, show us this evidence. To move the victim's body, Chief Grant used this dumb screwdriver that he made Edgeworth pick up. This is how he moved Detective Goodman's body. What's that? A screwdriver? But what does this have to do with this case? Mr. Edgeworth, think back to the day of the crime. What is the screwdriver doing here? Is there because... I was asked to go by Chief Grant, no less. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. In any case, on the day of the stabbing, I brought this back here. After the ceremony ended that day, I didn't plan to return to the prosecutor's office. But you did, because Chief Grant asked you to. You mean the body was found in the trunk of Mitch Edgeworth's car. To think, it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by the car. Detective Goodman's body was carried in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car? Yes, unless of course you have another explanation, Chief. Why else would you have asked Mr. Edgeworth to transport evidence from a closed case? There's only one plausible explanation. Transport the body to your accomplice, Mrs. Lanesky. Oh, order. What's going on here? Is there no room for rebuttal to the defense's outrageous accusation? Think back to the photograph Miss Starr took at the prosecutor's office. This was not a photo of the body being stuffed in the trunk to be taken away. This was exactly the opposite. It's a photo of the body being taken from the trunk. Chief Grant, please say something. I believe... Your time's up. My time's up? Sorry, Wrighto, but I'm having lunch with the District Attorney General after this. We have to get going if we're to make it on time for the early bird special. But the cross-examination isn't finished yet. Remember what I told you earlier. A police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Like the right to refuse to testify. I'm invoking that right now. What? That is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered. So you're going to just run away after all this? Run away? Don't make me laugh, Worthy. Oh god, I don't like him. I stabbed old Goodman. That's what you're saying, right? But if you have a conclusive evidence, you would have presented it by now. Well, You think I had planned to dispose of the body? If so, then show your proof and get it over with. I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Demon Grant is the current chief of police. This court will not tolerate any accusations against him without concrete proof. Well, Mr. Wright? Accusations, not accusations. Think. Your Honor, do you have any concrete proof? Proof that Chief Grant murdered Detective Goodman and made Miss Sky dispose of his body. Do I have any concrete proof? Of course I do! I can't let him just squirm his way out of this. I've got to keep the pressure on. Yes, Your Honor, I have such evidence. And please, hurry up and present it. Just remember, you better prove Chief Grant murdered Detective Goodman, beyond a shadow of a doubt. I don't think I have anything. Did I make the wrong choice by just assuming the game would also always have my back? This one again? So, what exactly is this evidence? No, okay. It's proof. As to whether or not it's enough to demonstrate Chief's guilt, I will let you be the judge. But I am the judge. Oh, right. Well, what do you think, Your Honor? What do you think, Mr. Wright? Is I'm going to be late for lunch. I guess it wasn't enough. Please, Your Honor, give me a little longer to consider. I will say it again, Mr. Wright. Demon Grant is the current police officer. This court will not tolerate any accusations against him without concrete proof. Well, Mr. Wright, Your Honor, do you have any concrete proof? Proof that Chief Grant murdered Detective Goodman and made Miss Sky dispose of his body. Do we have any concrete proof? I have no proof yet. It's no use showing evidence. I'm not even sure of myself. No, Your Honor. At present, I have no conclusive evidence. COG. In that case, this court is forced to penalize you for your allegations against the chief. What? Here's a tip. Never gamble what you can't afford to lose, righto? It seems that Lady Luck was on my side again today. Okay, Ochi, I will leave the rest to you. I don't like him. I warned you earlier, Mr. Wright. This is an affront to a senior officer in our nation's law enforcement agency. What? Lady Luck, huh? Maybe we should have a word with her. Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean? There's one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial. We haven't yet had the honor to hearing her testimony. A lady who knows the truth, another witness. In this absence of conclusive evidence, the only other method of proof is testimony. But Chief Grant was invoked his right to refuse to testify. There's still someone else, one more witness who can answer all the questions raised in this trial. Someone right this very room. Mr. Edgeworth, who is this person? Why are you asking me, Your Honor? Have you forgotten? The defense is the one calling witnesses today. Mr. Wright, does such a witness exist? She may not be willing to tell the truth, but we can't just stop now. Yes, Your Honor. The defense calls forth. Please tell the truth. The defendant? Miss Lana Sky? She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 p.m. on February 21st. Are tasked to dispose of the victim's body. In accordance with a certain someone's order. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution has no objections, Your Honor. Very well. The court will now take its final recess for the day. In 50 minutes, we will converse to hear the defendant's testimony. This court is now in Hold on. Huh? Chief Grant? I thought you were going to eat. Listen good, Lana. He's talking to Lana. I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. Wright's claims, there will be terrible consequences. That's right. Her sister will be found guilty for Nell Marshall's murder. Ah, this isn't good. Of course. You'd never support such outrageous claims anyway, right? This is blackmail. You're just blackmailing in front of the court. Just something to think about. Alright then. I've got lunch day to meet. Okay. If there aren't any further objections, this court is now in recess. Dang it. Looks like we managed to stay in the game. Yeah, thanks to your help, Edgeworth. The chief. He's something else, eh, Paz? Detective Gumshoe. Haha, I'm not a detective anymore. Oh yeah, sorry about that. Ah, don't worry. I've already decided where to work now. At your office. My office? Sure. I will take the place of that top-knotted girl you used to work with. But you mean... Maya? Still, looks like we're all out of the moves now. Chief Grant's done it again. How is it he always gets the upper hand? I'm not It's not fair. He has the right to refuse to testify. Settle down, Wright. Remember what the judge said. But Chief, that is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered. Risks? What did he mean by that? It's simple. If the chief refuses to testify, the opposite also holds true. You mean he forfeits his right to say anything too? Hey, Emma, are you okay? Yeah, when I came to, I was in the medical office. I've been listening to the trial from the gallery. So she heard everything that's been going on. Emma, I'm sorry for what I said before. No, don't be. It was the truth. You know, it's funny, I almost feel somehow relieved. Relieved? Yeah. Now I finally know what really happened. To think that all this time, my sister was being blackmailed by that terrible man. And she did it all, just to protect me. Ever since her appointment as chief prosecutor, everyone who knew her said she changed. Perhaps it was easier that way for her. What do you mean? What do you think I mean? To follow Chief Grant's orders. She must have shut herself up deep inside. To force herself to do anything and everything the chief told her to do. That must be why she became so cold. It was all my fault. It's all because I murdered Mr. Marshall. Hey, don't go blaming yourself now. If you want to blame anyone, blame society, pal. Chief Grant may be able to fool everyone else with his forgery. But he can't fool my memory. I remember now. I knocked Mr. Marshall into that armor. I see. Well, we better go back. It's time for the final act. Emma, why don't you wait here? No, I'm going with you. I want to be there. When Lana tells the truth. Let's go, right? It's time to end this. Ooh, to be continued in this episode, because I'm not making another one. Yippee. They're just adding trial former, trial later, trial later. 2! Think of better names, dudes. Whisper, 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 whisper. Wow. Now then. Will the defendant, Miss Lana Sky, please take the stand? Miss Lana Sky, you are the chief prosecutor. I'm sure you're aware of what is required of you. But Mr. Edgeworth, you already know everything. You know all that I've done these past 2 years. Please provide the court with your testimony, Miss Sky. And remember, you are under oath. We want to hear the truth. Of course, the truth. Nana, no matter what happens, I will always be your sister. Now then, your testimony, if you will. First, tell us about your relationship with Chief Grant. Everything hinges on your testimony. You're the only chance we have to get Grant. Please. Please. I worked alongside Grant for years. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. My only motivation was to get Rock convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma. That's just a lie, and we all know that. Are you sure about this testimony? Your Honor, I'm confessing to a capital offense. Of course I'm sure. But Lana, if this is true, then that means Chief Grant had nothing to do with this. That's what I've been telling you from the beginning. Please, Mr. Wright, you've got to help her. She's sacrificing herself because of me. But what if she's telling the truth? She's not. I know my own sister. Wherever she speaks stiffly like that, she's hiding something inside. Deep down, she is really screaming in agony. Yeah, this is no time for second-guessing myself. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Thank you. Speed through all of it, please. Noom. Press. So you rearranged the crime scene. Are you sure you didn't do this to keep Emma from looking like a murderer? How many times do I have to tell you, Mr. Wright? Emma did not do it. Period. Are you sure you're Are you so desperate to hide the fact? You're willing to risk the death sentence. She's lying. She did it. I wouldn't be blamed for what happened. In any case, as a prosecutor, what I've done is unpardonable. There's nothing I can do to make up for my actions. Mr. Wright, my sister's lying. Look like she's determined to protect you to the end. She insists she fabricated the evidence by herself. There's no way she could have done it alone. Got to get Lana to talk more. If she's lying, then she's bound to slip up and make a contradiction. But what about the face? Or not? No. What about this? No, I don't want to press. You say yourself, you did this all by yourself. Yes. How would you mind telling us what you've found when you arrived at the crime scene? It seemed I was the first person to discover the scene. The broken prosecutor's award knife was stuck in the victim's body. What? But Prosecutor Marshall died from an unfortunate accident. That's only a situation you dreamed was possible. The reality is, it wasn't my sister who took the prosecutor's life. Fantasize all you want, Mr. Wright, but I will never change this statement. You mean Prosecutor Marshall wound up being killed by Drake, Dark, whatever. Something like that. If that's so, what happened to the other murder weapon? Dark was carrying a switchblade knife. Oh, that was lying on the floor, a little distance away. It was probably knocked away in the struggle. That's not how it went down. She's trying to cover up her lies with more lies. That's most of the time how lying works. All just to protect me. So, when you found the scene like this, what did you do? After all, this is what everything boils down to. Yes. I broke off the tip of Dark's knife, planted it inside the wound, then moved the body. You planted the tip of Drake's knife in the victim's wound, and then moved the body? But why? Why would you do that? You, of all people, should know, Edgeworth. You've always had a good head on your shoulders. My head isn't that bad, but maybe I ought to ask for the sake of the others. Why did you move the body? Because the knife is clear. Why did you move the body? When you showed up on the scene, where exactly was the victim's body? It was where you deducted it was, by Chief Grant's desk. But the body was found by your desk. Why did you move it there? The reason for that is simple. Let's have the witness explain this in more detail. The reason Miss Sky moved the body. The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan. What? Can you explain? Pieces of the jar, you mean... Yes, that wrenched jar you showed us earlier. In order to show that Drake committed the crime, I felt it would be more expedient to move the body. So, when you first found the body, the jar was already... Of course, it had been shattered to pieces. You look at the crime scene, it would be clear right away what happened. Now Marshall was dead and Dark was lying unconscious. In other words, the jar must have broken during their struggle. I see. What's the matter, Emma? Apparently the jar shattered at the time of the crime was committed. But I have a feeling there's more to it than that. There must be a contradiction here somewhere. Anyway, I committed this fabrication completely alone. Yeah. But the jar has the name written on it, and you cannot do that if it's completely broken already. Miss Sky, I understand how you feel. You committed that crime 2 years ago to protect your sister. You mean the forgery at the scene where now Marshall was murdered. If that's true, if that true were to be truth were, okay, I'm just too dyslexic, I'm sorry. If that truth were to be exposed now, the best 2 years of your life will have been in vain. Even so, I'm compelled to bring to everyone's attention a significant contradiction within your testimony. Contradiction in my testimony? You testified, and I quote, "The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threaten my plans." That's right. Do you have a problem with that? It's a simple oversight, really. You see, a message was written in the jar with the victim's blood. Yes, the prosecutor must have written it in his final moments. Exactly so. And this is where the contradiction lies. In order for the victim to be able to write his message on the jar, it must not have been broken before he died. Ah. He couldn't have written Emma's name on the shattered jar. Got you. Order. Your Honor. It would appear more information is needed in regards to this jar and its bloody message. We may be missing something critical here. Something critical? Chief Prosecutor? It seems you're as in the dark as we are about the truth towards which we're headed. What? Just tell us exactly what you saw. We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth. Very well. The witness may now continue her testimony. Tell us the truth. Jar message in blood. I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar, but it was dark in the room and I didn't even have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. Why? The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I could think was wiping them clean before they were discovered. Why? You mean you were the one who wiped away the message in blood? I wasn't chief prosecutor at the time. She didn't think Dark was the real murderer. That's why she tried to erase the real evidence. Very well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination. Dude, what do you want me to do at this point? Blah 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 blah. It's safe and wipe away. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. But how could you see with the power out? It should have been pitch black in that office. A detective is always prepared, Mr. Wright. Even now I always carry a pocket light and a camera with me. Even I carry a bottle of emergency... That's concerning. Emergency luminoid wherever I go. Why? I never miss anything. I got every last piece I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered. More contradictions have surfaced in her testimony. It has? Sorry, I was thinking it has. Her sister is really putting up the fight. She must really care about you. Still, she's not doing this the right way. I think I finally figured out the contradiction in the testimony. There's one final possibility that might turn everything around. What? Well, I sure got them all. Are you sure? Sure. Because... if we go to this one, the one where the lines were still on, you clearly didn't get them all. The Sky, I believe this jar concealed the truth even you were unaware of. What? We found the final piece of this jar in Chief Grant's safe. In the chief's safe? But how? I knew it. She really didn't know. There's something even more disturbing about the final piece. There was still blood on it. But the witness just testified that she gathered every last piece and wiped the blood off them. Yes, which leaves us with the only explanation. Oh, with only one explanation. On the night Prosecutor Marshall was murdered, you were not the first one to show up at the crime scene. Chief Grant got there before you. But couldn't the defendant have simply missed a piece? I'm afraid that's unlikely. The pieces are too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective. It may well be, but everyone makes mistakes. Even I once wasted an entire day looking for my dentures. They were in my mouth all along. Ha, can you believe that? Yes. With your intelligence, yes. Have you forgotten, Your Honor? When this witness arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken. Oh, that... There's no way a name could have been written on a shattered jar. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness. I hope you're not implying this person was Chief Grant. At the time, he was looking for darks downstairs. Besides, even if he was there first, why would he... I was still reading. The question is, if he did arrive there first, why did he hide the fact for 2 years? Speechless. Well, Your Honor, can you answer us that? Nah. No. Haha, we got you. Wait. I'm not the one on trial here. Demon Grant arrived at the crime scenes prior to the witness. He proceeded to break the jar and purposefully hid one of the broken pieces. Question. What is this action called? Fabrication of evidence. But why would Chief Grant do that? In light of what happened afterwards, isn't it clear? What happened afterwards? Discovering the scene, Lana Skye believed her sister Emma killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought Grant's aid. Lending her his aid, Grant helped her create evidence that incriminated Dark, sparing Emma. And therein lies the reason. The reason why Miss Skye became the chief puppet. Ow, that looks painful. No, I did it on my own. Please, sis, stop trying to protect the chief. I can't watch you suffer anymore for my sake. No, you didn't. It was you, Emma. It wasn't you, Emma. You didn't kill anyone. Don't believe anything Mr. Wright says. Defense attorneys make up the foulest lies to defend their clients. Foul lies? Imagine that coming from my own client. I guess you do seem the type who likes to twist the truth. Wait a minute. What if we're still smack dab in the middle of Grant's trap? If something's wrong, Mr. Wright, Lana may be right after all. She is? What do you mean, Wright? So, you do tell foul lies then, Mr. Wright? Mrs. Skye, please testify once more. But if evidence was fabricated behind your back, then Emma's accidental killing of Prosecutor Marshall might also be a lie. But I do remember knocking over Mr. Marshall. Miss Skye, if you will. I can't. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. This cross-examination may not change a thing. However, there's a possibility that it will. And if you tell the truth... Very well. I will testify about what I really saw. Alright, the witness may testify once more for the final time. The judge is so done with us. When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on a suit of armor's sword. Emma and Dark were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what happened, I thought she did it. That's why I erased all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had Chief Grant help me remove the body from the sword and carry it. But if it all really was a fabrication, Emma might be innocent. Unbelievable. The body was impaled on the armor's sword. You were the only one who saw that. If only you have proof. Actually, I do have proof. I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning. What? To me? She was always wearing a camera. Would she take a picture of that? It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I was correct with guessing. I'm so happy when I do that. I thought it might be needed. But I don't remember receiving a picture like that. Lana must have known. Mr. Wright, she really does have faith in you. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please present this picture. I don't remember receiving any pictures from Lana. Lana said she gave it to you this morning, right? Seemed to remember getting something from her then. Let's check the evidence again. There must be a picture in there somewhere. Now this is the only thing we got. Whee. Why is this lighting up? Oh, that's one blurry and nasty picture. Hey, there's a picture here. Ooh, it's no longer blurry, but it's not much better. My only question is, from that height, how could he have written on the face? That's my thing, but... Game logic! Oh my. This is the actual crime scene. No other detectives saw the crime scene like this. Because I contacted Criminal Affairs only after I had rearranged everything. Ooh. Yes, Mr. Wright. The picture cut off from his vest. The piece cut off from his vest. Could that be the cloth we found inside Chief Grant's safe? What's this? This is a handprint, isn't it? That cloth, it had fingerprints on it. Whoever fingerprints those were must be the real murderer. No, they weren't, Emma. What? But those fingerprints. They're yours, Emma. Why are your lips turning all purple, Mr. Wright? Anyways, let's get on with the cross-examination. So long as you tell the truth, we should be able to flush all the real murder. We should be able to flush out the real murderer. Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Yippee! When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on a suit of armor. Hold it? You're back! Shh! Go away. Come now, Edgy. This is the poorest excuse of a trial I've ever seen. Chief Grant. What? Now you want to make me out as the bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a word of two in my defense. I'm afraid it's too late for that. What? You already declined to testify. That means you forfeit your right to make statements of any sort. This must be that risk we were talking about earlier. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your neck. So what? You think I'm worried? Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statements. What do you mean? The evidence will do all the talking for me. So we're not gonna use any evidence anymore until it's cleared. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence. Yes, that's true. Wait, you mean you still have some conclusive evidence? No, I don't. But someone does. Someone. So, what's your excuse, Wrighto? Why have you been keeping quiet about it? You don't have something to show us, right? Something that proves who knocks over now Marshall, causing his death. Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt. I mean, dude, you're wearing gloves. Is this true, Mr. Wright? If I show that piece of evidence now, Emma's sure to be made out as the murderer. Mr. Wright, if you have any more evidence, present it now. Or if you try to conceal anything, you will be the one appearing for the Board of Inquiries. What a surprise. I'm quickly gonna save. Just in case we mess up. What do I do now? I better think this through carefully. I can't afford to make the wrong decision. Should I present the piece of evidence? The one that shows who really killed... No, it wasn't linked to the crime. Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time. What? You lie, Chief Grant. You opened my safe. I know you took what was inside. The conclusive evidence. I don't know what you're talking about. Mr. Wright, Why don't you show them? We found it together. Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you won't present it. What are you talking about, Chief Grant? Can't you figure it out? Take a good look at the picture. See the victim's vest? Notice anything odd about the chest area? It looks like part of it has been cut out for some reason. You mean you had this in your safe? What? That means you, the chief of police, have been concealing evidence? This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department. Ha! You talked yourself into a corner. Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had the gal, Wright-o. Well, I can't just let you pin me as the murderer. I will tell you what really happened. What? You mean you admit to it? No, he isn't allowed to testify. Why are we allowing this? It's not allowed. So he can't. Right? Oh. Why is he allowed to talk? I was the first person to arrive at the crime scene that day. It then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana. So you really were manipulating her. I knew Lana. If I made her look like the blame lay with her sister, that's when she saw the scene, she would ask for my aid. So you assisted, Mr. Sky. I told her to arrange all the evidence. I had her plant a knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room. And I ended up using that evidence to get Joe Dark convicted. When it tampered with the crime scene, I hid 2 pieces of evidence. This was before Lana arrived at the scene, mind you. 2 pieces of evidence? You mean those items in your safe? But why? For insurance. Of course. Insurance. I was sure my plan would work, but it was always the best to be prepared for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for the murder that girl committed. You mean you were calculating that far ahead while forging the evidence? What do you take me for, a fool? I didn't make the police chief by dumb luck. See this jar fragment? He hit the most legible part of Emma's name. It didn't explain Lana. I didn't expect Lana to go and wipe the blood of all the pieces. But if you fabricated all the evidence, what's to say it didn't fabricate the message on the jar too? Ho, 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 ho. That would solve my question of he is pinned on there. How can he reach the jar? Some people just don't know when to quit, do they? That's why I kept one more item for insurance. You mean that piece of cloth? Come on, Wright-o. Cough it up already. I know you have fit it. What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright? So you admit to it then, Chief Grant, that you were hiding the cloth you cut off the victim's vest in your safe. Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to do that, being chief and all. But it was a lot better than being portrayed as a murderer. Now, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say for yourself? Just a moment ago you said you didn't have any evidence you could present. Foolish move, Wright-o. You should have shown it then before it was too late. It's been a long battle. But the moment of truth has finally arrived. As long as I don't mess this up, the victory is mine. I mean... Before, we could use the argument it wasn't connected to the trial, as far as we were aware. Now it's connected, now we need to show it. Because sadly, he talked. I don't know why we let him talk, he wasn't allowed to testify, Your Honor. I did have an evidence to present now. Alright then, let's see the conclusive evidence. The evidence that shows who actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest. Oh yes, at last you finally brought it out into the open. There's a handprint on this piece of cloth. Your Honor, the prosecution requests that be immediately sent to the lab for analysis. This handprint on the letter, there must have been a strong impact for it to be left so clearly. You mean, it could not have been forged. It must be authentic, conclusive evidence. Ho ho ho. You're as slow on the uptake as ever, Worthy. What? Think about it. Wright had all this time to present this evidence. Yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be? You mean you already know? You know whose fingerprints are on that. Mr. Wright, do you really know? Whoever's fingerprints belong to the real murderer, whose fingerprints are they? Very well, I will tell you. It should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted. The person to whom these fingerprints belong to is... Emma? Emma Skye? What? They're mine? I'm sorry, Emma. But why? Why didn't you tell me? Oh, ho, ho. You're really something, Righto. You knew this girl did it all along, and you still tried to pin the murder on me. So it's true. Tragic, but true. This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall to his death. How could you? You monster! Miss Skye? You knew whose fingerprints those were all along, yet you acted like she really didn't. Miss Skye? It's not over yet. What? I said the trial isn't over yet. Ah, but I'm afraid it's over, boy. Not only this trial, but your career too. You purposely concealed that conclusive evidence that my friend is a serious offense. I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. I will have your badge, boy. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned the poor girls into a murderer. Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up. Oh? And what's that? Who really killed Prosecutor Nell Marshall? What? Chief Grant, you are absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Nell Marshall, you ask? It was Emma Skye, wasn't it? I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction. What a contradiction? What is this fool babbling about? I'm talking about the contradiction, one that proves who the real killer is. Phoenix, I don't know. Phoenix. Mr. Wright, this piece of cloth. What could it possibly contradict, Chief Grant? Your tyrannical reign ends here. Behold, the piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth. Oh, I'm so happy enter is not present. Because I would have shown my attorney's badge and be dumb. Okay. Hold up. I know blood can leak through things, but this is a thick leather jacket, so this shouldn't be this bloody, right? Right? I'm happy I went this way, because I would have picked other evidence. I would have picked the jar again. And what exactly is this supposed to be? This is the picture Miss Skye took. Wait, there also wasn't any blood on the handprint, so that's also wrong. This is the picture Miss Skye took. Take a good look at it. See where the piece of his vest was cut out? Yes. His shirt is showing underneath. It's hard to make out all the blood on his vest, though. Exactly my point. His chest is soaked with blood. That's only natural. His lungs, no doubt, were punctured. Blood poured out of his mouth. Oh, but that piece of cloth. Wait. There's no blood on it. Ah! Since Emma Skye's fingerprints were on this cloth, there's no doubt that she shoved the prosecutor aside. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword at the time. No, this is nonsense. Now then, Chief Grant, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside. He most likely hit his head on the ground and was knocked out. If so, then tell me, who could it have been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Ilana's guy? Picked up the unconscious prosecutor and impaled him on the armor's sword. Then, to make it look like Emma was responsible for it, prosecutor's death, said person proceeded to write her name on the jar with the victim's blood, a jar that they broke on purpose to leave behind a clue. And make Lana believe her sister did it. Remember what you admitted, only moments ago? That you personally cut out the bloodless piece of the victim's vest. Ironic, isn't it? Through the very act of creating insurance, you proved that you were the actual murderer. No! I like the anime. Pose that he's striking. It's finally all over. Objection? From who? From him? Oh, that was close, right? Oh, you almost had me. You look deflated, dude. I think I won. Sorry, but you all have to do better than that. I refute all your allegations. What do you mean you refute his allegations? You see, that piece of cloth is illegal evidence. Order, order. What nonsense is this? Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a suspect. Remember, G. Earlier, old Righto here concealed the piece of cloth. So then, what's your excuse, Righto? You do have some conclusive evidence, don't you? Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time. Well, that is true. The defense did refuse to present evidence. At that moment, that piece of cloth was ceased to be legal evidence. But that's not fair. Ho 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 ho! Did you actually think you could best me in court? It looks like your last laugh. The last laugh is on you, son. I'm afraid Mr. Grant's claim is legally correct. Well, Mr. Edgeworth. True. Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person. Assuming, of course, that the evidence is indeed illegal. Well, Mr. Wright? It seems at last the time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived. Mr. Wright, do you admit to it? That you purposely and illegally concealed this piece of cloth? I did not. I admit, I refused to present it at one point. Aha, so the evidence is illegal. No, it isn't, Mr. Grant. Huh? It's not that I didn't present evidence then. It's that I couldn't. What do you mean, you couldn't? There are certain procedures involved when presenting evidence. No, Archie, don't listen to his lies. He's nothing but a coward. You can't really believe. There's only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence legal or not? Very well, let us settle this once and for all. Earlier, you refused to present evidence. If you cannot prove your conduct was not in violation of the law, then do so now. This is my proof, Your Honor. Evidence law. What's this? I've done my homework too, Chief. Indeed, Emma Sky's fingerprints were on this piece of cloth. However, at that point in time, this was merely a piece of cloth, nothing more. What? You see, it's written right here in this book. The second rule of evidence law. Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without approval of the police department. I found this piece of evidence myself inside your safe. It goes without saying I did not have approval from the police department. Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And here's the crux of the matter. You see, at the time it was impossible for me to prove the relevance between the cloth and the S09 incident. What kind of nonsense is this? You wanted relevancy? Just take a look at this picture and... Sorry, but can you recall? When was this picture presented? That was shown only a few moments ago. No. He's right. At the beginning of today's trial, that piece of cloth was still meaningless. The person who gave it value as evidence was you, Demon Grant. You yourself confessed to a certain truth. Let me verify this once more. On this day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest. Oh yes. No! It was then that you approved this cloth. As conclusive evidence. Yes, you, the chief of police, personally approved this cloth. The only person who could have cut this from the victim's vest is the one who stood before Prosecutor Marshall in his final moments. In other words, the real murderer. And there's only one person who that could be. Demon Grant. The killer was you. Okay, he lost it. I'm not laughing like an insane maniac. I don't want my neighbors to hear that. I knew we should have gotten rid of him. Good for nothing scum. For 2 years, he's been snooping around the department, trying to get something on me. He's gonna be so happy I prosecuted you. Crimes are being committed every day, yet he insisted on haunting me. Well, your crime wasn't exactly petty. He wanted to reinvestigate the case. He recruited Angel Starr, then convinced Bruce Goodman. Detective Goodman? Yeah, that's right. If the evidence is transferred, I will lose my only chance to find out the truth. Please, you've got to help me. Goodman turned him down, as he ought to. Still, Jake Marshall didn't know when to quit. He stole Goodman's ID card and tried to take the evidence. Goodman came to me that day. He wanted to file a lost item report. I went with him to the evidence room. Then, all of a sudden, he decided to speak out. What are you talking about, Goodman? Can you please reopen the investigation, Chief? We can't transfer the evidence out. There are too many questions left unanswered. He opened his evidence locker, and as he was taking the evidence out, he said, "It's not too late. I'm going to hand this all over to Marshall." Well, to be honest, I was a bit taken aback by his words. I had a bad feeling when he came to me, but I never thought he'd bring up the SL9. Wait, so if Marshall never stole the ID, Goodman would never have been murdered. They would have opened the investigation, and Grant would have had to find... Okay, he would probably still have murdered them one way or another, but it would have been a lot more difficult and a lot more clear what was going on. That's when I saw it. That accursed knife. I couldn't just pull it out. Doing so would have led to more blood, making it nearly impossible to hide your crime. Even so, the blood was just pouring out. I didn't know who might stumble in, so I hurried to wipe it up. I was worried too much about the floor. I didn't realize my fatal mistake. The bloody handprint. Detective Gumshoe's locker. I used to know as the crime computer. But everyone has to start somewhere, I guess. I was too nervous. I had no business doing any of it. Then you put the body in my car. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of any other way to move the body. I broke your trunk, but what's the big deal? You make a lot more than us detectives ever will. Gah. Leaving the prosecution car aside. How could she get Miss Sky involved in all of this? Well, she had as much to lose as I did if the truth came out. So you took the evidence from Detective Goodman's locker. I felt bad for having to do it. I also didn't have the time to pick and choose what to take. So, you left the jar fragments and the glove. Yeah. It looks like it was better off being It looks like I was better off being an investigator of crimes than a committer. I don't like him. Can we punch him? He'd probably get a death penalty, so it's fine. He murdered 2 people. They all did their best to get in my way. I've got to hand it to them. They do their jobs well, much to my dismay. Fake evidence doesn't hold up very well upon closer examination. You must have known that. Tell me, Worthy, why do you stand in court? Me? You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same. You are a criminal. One day, you will understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You will see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to go at it alone. He will never be alone, because he has us. Well, looks like it's time to say goodbye. Oh, Udgy. What? Looks like we have to cancel the lunch date. Sorry, old friend. I'm sorry too, Demon Grant. I knew you as you used to be long ago. You were one of a fine investigator, and an example to others on the force. I'm sorry to learn that you are no longer that person. Those days are gone now, Uchi. Thanks for all the memories, though. Don't worry, you will be fine. Now you have Raito here. And Worthy. With these two around, you can't go wrong. In fact, I can hear them already. The melodious sound of a new beginning. There are 2 things I want you to understand. Yes? First, your sister never hurt anyone. Second, Demon Grant betrayed you from the beginning. You see, Miss Sky, you no longer have any reason to keep silent. You're right. But this trial's over, I will tell everything. All that I've done these past 2 years. From the time I helped Grant help me forge evidence up until today. So, it seems all the questions raised in this trial have been answered. I'm sorry, Miss Sky. I couldn't get you out of all your trouble. My. What high standards you have for a rookie. I can see why Mia thought so highly of you. Who knows, a few years from now, you just might make it to the top. Oh, she's smiling! I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. Miss Sky? And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You suffered every bit as much as I have over the past few days. Believe me, I know how much of an ordeal it's been for you. It was nothing. Liar. I was worried the pressure might break you. And yet, you rose above it all and guided Mr. Wright to victory. Well, you've done well, Mr. Edgeworth. You look so happy. Oh, stop it. I only did my job. In light of this case, it seems a good self-examination is in order for all of us. Miss Sky? Yes, Your Honor. You are innocent of murder, however. Although the chief blackmailed you, the fact is still you acted as his accomplice. A trial will be scheduled for these crimes at a later date. Yes, I understand, Your Honor. Is there something amusing about all of this? Why are you smiling? Dude, she's happy to finally be free after 2 years. It's been a long time, Your Honor. A long time since I felt free of this heavy chains. See? Told you. Well, this trial has gone on far too long already. Regarding the charge of murder, this court finds defendant Miss Lana Sky not guilty. Yep. I want to know if they really throw confetti at the end of everything. That must be a pain to clean up after every trial. That's all. This court is adjourned. 25th, defendant's lobby. At long last, it's finally over. Emma? Why the long face? I'm sorry your sister didn't completely get... I'm sorry your sister didn't get completely off the hook. But at least she wasn't convicted for a murder she didn't commit. No, that's not it. Just now, after the trial ended. I can see why Maya Fey... What? The surname was not there after, like the first time, right? Well, the first time was just Mia. Whatever. I can see why Mia Fey thought so highly of you. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You suffered every last bit as much as I have over the past few days. You've done well. She looks so much younger when she smiles. I feel like the last 2 years weighted her down a lot. I missed that because I was talking. Emma, you know, I did my best too, but Lana didn't say a single word to me. I hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. You are. Oh, guess I am. I will come back later. No, come back. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Making a detective run all around while on duty. And here, to top it all off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Hey, lighten up, pals. I'm only kidding. Oh. Are you here again because of my sister? Nope. Not this time. I came today because of you, pal. Me? That's right. I thought you'd like to see someone. Lana! Lana! Should you be doing this? She's still under arrest, you know. Well, I won't tell if you won't. Emma, I owe you an apology. It's okay, sis, don't worry about it. That day 2 years ago, it was the first time in my life I ever panicked. That was all I could do to keep myself from scheming. And I could think about was keeping you from getting wrapped up in that mess. Sis, I asked Grant to help me cover up the truth. I thought I was doing it for your sake, but now I realize I was wrong. I changed after that day. I had to. It was the only way I could make it through the past 2 years. I knew how much I was hurting you by distancing myself, but I couldn't bring myself to tell you what I did. I was scared. Scared that you'd look at me with those eyes of yours. I was scared of how you'd react if you knew. But sis, you were only doing it for me. No. Huh? I turned my back on you that day. In hiding what I believed to be the truth, I was deceiving you. Sis, I'm such a fool. It took me all this time to realize it. Emma, I'm so sorry. But sis, you don't have to apologize. I'm happy now. You are happy? Of course. You know, sis, I always knew that one day you'd come back. And now you have. Oh, oh, Emma. Emma. Oh. Oh. They're adorable together. No one can change the past. The one thing we can do is strive to make up for our mistakes. Why must we make up for our mistakes, you ask? Because in so doing, we can find the way back to our rightful path. And it is from there that we can move on towards a brighter future. Aww. At last, that's what I felt watching the two sisters make up. At least, probably. Mr. Wright, Mr. Gumshoe. Me? Thank you both for all you've done. I'm sure we'll all meet again someday. Isn't that right, Edgeworth? Edgeworth? Stop hiding and come over here. Oh, he looks pissed. Where was he hiding? That's also a good question. This room looks really open. I just came to say, congratulations. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Right, well, I'll be going now. Mr. Edgeworth, I hope you don't blame yourself for what happened. We were the ones who acted corruptly, not you. It's too late for me. No matter what anyone may say, I realized today that I can't correct my mistakes. Mr. Edgeworth. Not only that, but I don't even trust myself anymore. Chief Grant was right. You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me were the same. One day, you will understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see that it really takes to bring them down. Once you try to go at it alone. I do despise criminals. I planned to dedicate my entire life to finding them. But in order to fight crime on my own, I needed a weapon. It's scary, but I've always known that to be true for quite some time now. But Edgeworth, who knows, given enough time I might have tried to pull something like Chief Grant did. That thought terrifies me. That's why I can't continue on as a prosecutor. Edgeworth, don't you understand? Demon Grant and your mentor, Manfred von Karma, were both the best of the best when it came to fighting crime, but they both made the same mistake. You said, in order to fight crime on my own, I need a weapon. And that may be true, but think back to today's trial. You weren't alone. You were working together with Mr. Wright, and because of that partnership, you were able to present evidence that otherwise would have gone undiscovered. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Oh, yeah. What's in this pop? What is this? A pop quiz? Come on, Mr. Wright, show him that Lana's talking about. Evidence, huh? Something that neither Edgeworth nor I would have been able to find on our own. No, no. Is it this? I'm assuming it's the evidence law, right? I'm assuming. I'm just going with it. I can't be punished here. That's the picture I drew. Our counteract began with this. You had one half of the evidence list and I had the other. Apart, we wouldn't have been able to completely restore Emma's picture. That didn't just happen by chance, Mr. Edgeworth. It's time for me to go. Mr. Edgeworth, if you will excuse me, there are still some loose ends that need wrapping up. Take care, Chief Prosecutor. Oh, Edgeworth. Edgeworth, what will you do now? Well, whatever you do, just remember, you can let what happens kill the prosecutor in you, or you can let it help you grow. In the end, it's up to you. I know. It seems I owe you my thanks too, right? But what I face now is my problem. Edgeworth, I'll be waiting for you in court. Farewell. Aww. I'd better be going too. Okay, but I will be by to visit soon. It seems we both have a lot to learn and catch up to do. I think there was a certain sound that sounded like a phone ringing. Yeah, no, it's there. I heard it again. Okay, it's from the music. I really thought someone else was in this home that was not supposed to be here. I was supposed to be home alone. It gave me a heart attack. I was like, oh, looks like I'm gonna be the victim in one of these cases. Simply both have a lot to learn and catch up to do. Scientific investigation. Oh, that's adorable. Here, this is a little something for you. Scientific investigation? It's the first book I ever bought. Study it well. Thanks, sis. I will. Aww. This is so sweet. And so another case came to a close. As for the sisters, I have faith. Faith that their lives have only just begun. And as for me, I think it's time I started on a new journey of my own. A journey to rediscover myself. Let me stop with this music. I keep hearing what I think is the phone call tone. Well, don't go tracking off just yet, pal. Huh? What is it, detective? There's just a little matter to be resolved about the chief prosecutor. You see, she isn't supposed to be out of jail like this, but I thought you said it was okay. Yeah, well, it may be okay with me, but the folks at the prison are a different story. Huh? Basically, I had to bribe a guard in order to sneak her out for 30 minutes. Believe me, it wasn't cheap either. Huh? Way to go, detective. I didn't know you had the wild side. Ha, yeah, well, you see, Mr. Wright here. The one who's been footing the bill. Huh? Huh? What, you think I could afford this? With my salary? You gotta be kidding me, pal. Huh? 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 Thank you, Mr. Wright. You're the best. Why is it? I suddenly feel like I want to scream. Hey, I got an idea. Why don't we all go pay it off together? Yeah, that's a great idea. Come on, guys. Let's go. Oh, that was so cool. I love that ending. Wait. Oh, I hope she will please to study under a true corner. As for me, this affair has pretty much ended my days at the prosecutor's office. Still, I will manage to find my way back to the field someday. Somehow. Then I will be able to investigate crimes together with Emma. Ah, there was a fly. Like really close to my face, and I don't know if I killed it or not. Also, I think it said something about Emma going to Europe. A friend in Europe. Which, at least she has someone to guide her again. Yikes, I thought it was a goner for a moment there. In the end, though, I overlooked my unauthorized investigation of the chief office. If we penalize you anymore, it'd be worse than firing you. Yep, that's what they said. It just goes to show you can't shake me off that easily. Aw, so you don't come to work for us? That's too bad. Well, I guess you're basically working for us. I will take that. They should have had the names and stuff a bit more powdery, because like that's the thing with like, oh, we throw the power over it and blow it away, and then there's still little specks of like nothingness left. My new mission is to guard the main entrance and take care of Billy. Can you believe it? I've been demoted to security guard. My partner keeps an eye on the entrance for me today. I will show them though. Someday I'm going to make detective. I hope not. Oh, go away. Yes, sir. Then I can be just like that gumshoe. Never mind. I see your future. I see your future. Yep. Nope. I also forget how many people work on these kind of games. No, that's just the police office. Oh, no. And it's not just me. Every time he shows up for some reason, he's been lagging my game. Because he's not supposed to be moving that slowly, I think. That's gonna make his sequence a bit longer. I understand why he's doing it. He just wants the screen time. Please. Please free me. Okay, we're stuck looking at this. To be fair, it is good handiwork. I don't think I could have cut things so clearly and like, oh, nope, mate. I don't think it was lagging. I think it quite literally just was breaking down. And yeah, I was about to say, I cannot cut like that and paint like that. It's pretty good work, and then it broke down the second I was trying to compliment it. That is funny. You're also in jail. What is it? Can't you see I'm having my showdown with a steak lunch partner? Miss Sky managed to sneak this into me. She seemed to be blah blah blah. Well, cowboy, it looks like you did it. You even gave Bambina back her smell. Can you make sure Billy and the gang get their water? Oh, yeah, we can do this. We can do that, yes. Looks like we won't be seeing each other for a while. As a farewell gift, I put a new meal on the menu. The Wright whatever. The top layer tastes bitter as defeat, but the bottom layer as sweet as victory. That is nice. Kids seem to dig the turnabout team. It's a hot cellar. Just make sure not to eat it backwards. That's like, first the bottom, then the top, that's a pretty hard thing to do. Unless you can, like, flip it upside down, I guess. I do kind of regret that it is so fast, because I cannot read all of it. I'm skipping sentences. I'll never forget what that young defense lawyer said after the trial. Let's see, what was his name again? Mr. Left? Anyway, he said he's been doing something or other for how many years? Well, anyway, I got another child to get to, so I'd better go. Huh? Oh no, I forgot my gravel. Sorry, gotta go. Oh my god, the chair. For once we could see the chair. Also, I'm concerned that the judge remembered so little. That's a judge. His entire thing is remembering things and drawing conclusions and judging those conclusions. Okay. I guess we shouldn't have too high standards for the judge. Oh! Maya! Ah! Nothing suits the soul like fresh country air. Still, sometimes I do miss hearing you and your objection. Still, I can't go back until I'm full-fledged spirit medium. Mystic Maya, afternoon training about to begin. Coming! Well, see you around, Nick. Aww. I like Maya. Who else are we gonna see? Special thanks, okay. But who else are we gonna see? Because we saw Maya, we saw Gumshoe, we saw all the characters from this time around. There's nobody else, right? Are we gonna see Phoenix himself? I forgot about Edgeworth, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth? I bought you your tea. What? Going on? He resigned. Are we gonna see Edgeworth and Phoenix? Please? Please? Please don't let him really quit. Oh, you. Emma, hi. Thanks for coming to see me. I can't believe I'm going to Europe. Yeah, have fun. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Thank you so much for everything. I'm a little sad, but I will be alright. Whenever I want to see Lana, all I have to do is open this book. Because there's a picture inside. This time not from a murder scene, right? 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 Oh, letter. Aww. Oh, it's of them together. That is so sweet. Aww. They both look so happy. I'm so sad that didn't last long. Yippee, I cleared Rice from the ashes. We didn't see what happened with Edgeworth, though. Oh. I mean, he resigned, I guess. Oh, well, I guess... Will we figure it out next time? I don't think we will. Right, if I do continue, yeah, that's that. So, new game. We finished this one. So, next time... it's gonna be The Lost Turnabout. Apparently. Okay. We can do that. Anyway, I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Leave your thoughts about this trial and its conclusions in the comments. And until next time, bye-bye!